December 17th, 1983, St. Mary's Hospital, London, 3:42 a.m. Princess Diana lay in a hospital bed, bleeding heavily. She was 14 weeks pregnant. The palace had not announced this pregnancy. The public didn't know, and within hours, they never would. Because this pregnancy was about to end, not naturally, not accidentally, but because the palace had made a decision. This was Diana's third pregnancy, but the world only knows about two of her children, William and Harry. What happened to the others? This is the story of Diana's hidden pregnancies, the babies the palace made disappear, the medical procedures forced upon her, and the devastating truth about why Diana was only allowed to have two children when she desperately wanted more. June 1982, the first pregnancy, William. Diana's first pregnancy was announced to the world with great fanfare in November 1981, just months after her wedding to Charles. She was 20 years old, newly married, and terrified. "I had no idea what I was doing," Diana later told her therapist. "I was a child having a child, and everyone was watching me, judging me, telling me how to do everything." The pregnancy was difficult. Diana's morning sickness was so severe she could barely function. She developed bulimia during this time, using the vomiting from pregnancy as a cover for her eating disorder. "Charles was disgusted by my pregnancy," Diana confided to her friend Carolyn Bartholomew. "He hated my body changing. He stopped touching me completely. And Camilla was always there, always calling him, always taking him away from me." But despite the difficulties, William was born healthy on June 21st, 1982. Diana was overwhelmed with love for her son. For the first time since her wedding, she felt happy. "I have a purpose now," she told her sister Sarah. "I'm a mother. That's what I'm meant to be." September 1984, the second pregnancy, Harry. Diana's second pregnancy was announced in February 1984. She was pregnant again, and this time she felt more confident, more prepared. But this pregnancy was even harder than the first. Diana's bulimia was worse. Her marriage to Charles was deteriorating rapidly, and the palace's expectations were crushing her. "They told me I needed to have a girl this time. In air and despair," they said, but the spare needed to be a girl to balance the family. When I found out I was having another boy, Charles said, "Oh God, it's a boy," and walked out of the room. Harry was born on September 15th, 1984. Charles was disappointed. Diana was heartbroken by his reaction. "I loved Harry so much," Diana said, "but Charles made me feel like I had failed by not giving him a daughter." After Harry's birth, something changed in the palace's attitude toward Diana's reproductive future. November 1983, the hidden third pregnancy. Here's what the public doesn't know. Between William and Harry, Diana had another pregnancy, one that was never announced, one that ended at St. Mary's Hospital in the early hours of December 17th, 1983. Diana was 14 weeks pregnant. She and Charles had been intimate in August 1983 during a brief reconciliation. Diana was hopeful that another baby might bring them closer together. But when Diana told Charles about the pregnancy in October, his reaction was ice cold. "Another baby? Diana, we already have William. That's all we need right now. But I want more children. I want a big family." The palace doesn't think it's appropriate. 2 children is the modern standard. We're not having a third. Diana was devastated. She went to Queen Elizabeth, hoping for support. "Ma'am, I'm pregnant again. Charles doesn't want the baby, but I do. Please, can you talk to him?" Her response was chilling. "Diana, the Prince of Wales is correct. 2 children is sufficient. A third child at this time would complicate matters unnecessarily." "What do you mean, complicate matters?" "The line of succession is established. William is the heir, and a second child will be the spare. Additional children serve no constitutional purpose and create unnecessary expense and obligation. Diana couldn't believe what she was hearing. "This is my baby, my body, my choice. You gave up certain choices when you married into this family." Over the next month, Diana was under intense pressure from palace officials. They didn't explicitly order her to terminate the pregnancy, but they made it clear that continuing it would be problematic. Diana's own royal physician, Dr. George Pinker, was brought in to discuss options. "Your Royal Highness, given the stress you're under, the demands of caring for young William, and the instability of your mental health, I would strongly recommend we consider terminating this pregnancy for your own well-being. I don't want to terminate. I want this baby. With respect, ma'am, you're bulimic, you're depressed, you're struggling to care for one child. Another pregnancy right now could be dangerous for you." But Diana held firm. She refused to terminate, so the palace tried a different approach. December 1983, the accident. On December 16, 1983, Diana was invited to Sandringham for a family weekend. She didn't want to go. She was exhausted and morning sick, but palace officials insisted. "It's important to maintain family unity, ma'am. The Queen expects you." Diana went, and that weekend, something happened that she never fully explained to anyone except her closest friends. Years later, Diana told her friend Simone Simmons, "They made me lose that baby. I don't know exactly how, but I know it wasn't natural. I was fine, and then suddenly I wasn't. And they were all so quick to help, so quick to get me to the hospital, like they were expecting it." Diana began bleeding heavily on the evening of December 16th. She was rushed to the hospital in the middle of the night. By 3:42 a.m. on December 17th, the pregnancy was over. The official palace statement: "The Princess of Wales has been admitted to hospital for a minor gynecological procedure. She is resting comfortably." No mention of pregnancy, no mention of miscarriage. The public never knew, but Diana knew, and she never forgave them. "They killed my baby," she told Simone years later. "I don't know if it was something in my food or stress they deliberately created or something else, but I know it wasn't natural. They wanted that baby gone, and they made it happen." 1985 to 1986, Diana tries again. After Harry's birth in September 1984, Diana desperately wanted more children. She tried to repair her relationship with Charles, hoping for another pregnancy, but Charles was done. "2 children is enough, Diana. I'm not interested in having more. But I want a daughter. I want to try for a girl." "No, the matter is closed." In early 1986, Diana became pregnant again. She hadn't told Charles yet. She wanted to be sure first. She was approximately 8 weeks along when she started bleeding. This time, there was no hospital visit, no announcement. Just Diana, alone in her bathroom at Kensington Palace, losing another baby. She called her friend Carolyn. "I was pregnant again, but it's gone. Just like that, it's gone." "Diana, did you see a doctor?" "No, what's the point? They'll just say it's stress. They'll say it's my fault. They'll say I'm not healthy enough to carry a baby. You need medical attention. I'm fine physically, but emotionally, I'm destroyed. That's 3 babies I've lost now. 3. Diana never told Charles about this pregnancy or miscarriage. She knew he wouldn't care. 1990, the final pregnancy attempt. Diana's final pregnancy was in 1990. By this point, her marriage to Charles was essentially over. They barely spoke. They lived separate lives. But Diana still desperately wanted another child. She later admitted to her therapist that she had deliberately tried to get pregnant one last time, hoping a baby might give her purpose and joy, even if her marriage was dead. "I knew Charles didn't want another child, but I thought maybe if I got pregnant, he'd have to acknowledge me again. He'd have to care." Diana was 10 weeks pregnant when she started experiencing severe cramping. She went to see Dr. Pinker. "Your Royal Highness, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat. The pregnancy is no longer viable." Diana was numb. What happened? Sometimes these things just happen. There's no specific cause. But Diana believed otherwise. She told her friend Rosa Monckton, "My body keeps rejecting babies. I think it's because I'm so damaged inside. The bulimia, the stress, the depression, I've destroyed my own ability to have children." This was Diana's fourth and final pregnancy loss. After this, she gave up on ever having more children. The toll of hidden losses. Between 1982 and 1990, Diana experienced 4 confirmed pregnancies. 1. William, June 1982, successful. 2. Unknown baby, December 1983, lost at 14 weeks. 3. Harry, September 1984, successful. 4. Unknown baby, early 1996, lost at 8 weeks. 5. Unknown baby, 1990, lost at 10 weeks. Only 2 resulted in live births. The other 2, possibly 3, were losses that Diana carried in secret, grieving alone, unable to publicly acknowledge the babies she'd lost because the palace had never acknowledged the pregnancies. "I wanted a big family," Diana told her therapist in 1995. 4 or 5 children, a house full of noise and laughter, but they only let me have 2, and they made me feel like even that was too many. The psychological impact was devastating. Diana's eating disorder worsened after each pregnancy loss. Her depression deepened. Her sense of failure and inadequacy grew. "I couldn't even do the one thing I was supposed to do, produce heirs. And the babies I did lose, I had to pretend they never existed. I couldn't mourn them properly. I couldn't talk about them. They were just erased." 1995. Diana breaks her silence. In her Panorama interview with Martin Bashir, Diana made a cryptic comment that most people didn't understand. "I've given this family everything they asked for, and I've lost so much in the process, more than anyone knows." Those close to Diana understood she was referring to her pregnancy losses and the children she wanted but was never allowed to have. After Diana's death, her friend Rosa Monckton revealed, "Diana told me she'd had pregnancies that ended badly. She felt the stress of her marriage and the pressure from the palace had caused them. She carried enormous guilt, even though none of it was her fault." The medical records mystery. After Diana's death, her medical records mysteriously disappeared. Dr. George Pinker, her royal physician, died in 2013 without ever discussing Diana's medical history. Requests for Diana's medical records under Freedom of Information laws have been denied. Medical records of deceased members of the royal family are protected under privacy laws and will not be released. This means we may never know the full truth about Diana's pregnancies and losses. But Diana's closest friends maintain that she experienced multiple pregnancy losses that were hidden from the public, and they believe the palace's pressure and control over Diana's reproductive choices contributed to both the losses and Diana's inability to grieve them properly. The tragedy of Diana's hidden pregnancies. Diana wanted to be a mother more than anything. She loved William and Harry with every fiber of her being, but she dreamed of more children, especially a daughter. Instead, she experienced hidden losses, forced terminations, possibly, and systematic denial of her reproductive autonomy. The palace controlled when she could get pregnant, how many children she could have, and even whether she was allowed to acknowledge the babies she lost. "They took everything from me," Diana said in a private recording in 1996. "My happiness, my health, my children, even the babies I lost, they took my right to mourn them." Today, William and Harry are the only visible evidence of Diana's motherhood, but there were others. Babies who were never born, pregnancies that were never acknowledged, losses that Diana carried in silence for years. And perhaps that's one of the cruelest aspects of Diana's story. Even in her most private pain, the loss of wanted pregnancies, she wasn't allowed to grieve openly. She had to suffer in silence, pretend nothing had happened, and smile for the cameras. Because in the royal family, some stories are never told,
Some losses are never acknowledged, and some pain remains hidden forever.
Disclaimer. This video presents a speculative and dramatized account. While Princess Diana gave birth to 2 children, Prince William and Prince Harry, there is no confirmed public evidence of additional pregnancies or pregnancy losses. This narrative explores rumors and unconfirmed reports that have circulated over the years, combined with Diana's documented struggles with bulimia, depression, and palace pressure. Any specific pregnancy losses, medical procedures, or palace actions depicted here are fictional interpretations meant to explore the broader themes of reproductive control and loss within restrictive institutions. Viewer discretion is advised.